OK, this is Russell first from Birmingham on line 2.
Morning, Russell.
Morning.
Morning. What do you think of these books, then?
I think they're a fantastic idea. I'm gay, and I have a son who's almost 7. And I have to obviously show my son about different types of relationships, because obviously he comes to my house and jumps in the bed in the morning with myself and my partner. And for the most part, he doesn't see a problem with it. However, there's been cases when he's come, back from school and been told by his teacher that I'm wrong and that it should be a mummy and a daddy. And it seems I'm battling with the school to educate my son to say, well, there are different kinds of relationships out there, and all relationships are okay as long as, it's not harming anyone.
Russell, just go back a bit. So, his primary school teachers have told him that gay relationships are wrong?
Yes, they have.
That's not very good.
No, you must take that.
I was going to say, that's...
Well, it's a battle I lost with his mother, really, because his mother is very religious. She's a devout Catholic. And though she accepts me and she accepts that I've got to have a relationship with my son, she was intent on teaching him religious education. Okay.
Do you think it's a primary school teacher's job to impart this kind of knowledge?
Yeah, it is, because there's many different types of relationships in the country, and to be able to, you can't expect a kid of 16 to suddenly know everything there is. So showing them that there are different types of relationships, that there's gay relationships, that there's straight relationships, that there are relationships where it's only one person because there's no other partner, is very important, because then they're not shocked. Because when I was at school, I had sex education. It was always about a man and a woman, and that was it. Yeah. There's no types of relationship whatsoever. If it wasn't a man and a woman, there was no kids at all. Yeah. And when I got to 18, 19. Just after Josh was born, and I decided that I wasn't heterosexual, I was actually gay. It came to a shock with me, because I felt I'd done something wrong, because I'd got a son and suddenly I was gay, but I wasn't supposed to have a son. Yeah. And I have to battle with the school, and Josh is a brilliant kid, and he's really, really open, but because of the way he's been taught at school about relationships, I'm having to reiterate what I believe are the right values and the right virtues. OK, Russell, I'll tell you what, I feel like sending you and Tango Makes 3 right the way through the post now. If I could do it instantly, I would. Thank you very much for the call. Very disappointing to hear. But that's when you hear stories like that and you start to realise that maybe there are issues that we have to address in our primary schools if teachers are actually going around sending out the wrong message. I find that extraordinary. Let's have another call, please.
Right, let's see how Kim feels. She's from Essex on line 1.
Morning, Kim.
Good morning.
Is this the kind of stuff that should be taught in primary schools? Gay fairy tales? No.
I have 5 children, ranging from 20 down to 8 months.
Right.
We have a very open home, and we feel that it's something that we will tell our children about when they need to know.
OK, what about Kim? Kim, what about the parents who will never tell their children about it?
That's sad, because I feel that it's the parents' priority to teach your children everything you possibly can.
But what if, and I know from this programme, because we've had parents phone up to tell us about it in the past that they wouldn't do it, what do we do for the kids, thousands of kids, possibly tens of thousands of kids, who won't be told that same-sex relationships are great at home because their parents totally disapprove? Surely primary school is going to be the only place that they're going to, or the first place they might get that knowledge, useful knowledge.
Maybe comprehensive school, when they're that bit older. I don't think a 5-year-old... My 5-year-olds have never questioned me about homosexuality. It tended to come later on. Mum, what does this mean? And I'm very happy to tell them. Okay. So perhaps when they're older, I just feel that at 5 it's a little bit young. I've never been questioned by any of mine at 5. OK, fair point, but no objection to being taught in schools just a bit later. Yeah. Kim, thank you for the call.
This is Shamson from London on line 4.
Shamson, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Nice to have you back. What do you think about this, then?
I think I'm very worried about the education system in this country overall. I think there are far more pressing concerns that are affecting society in this country, such as children are not respecting parents these days. We've lost respect for elders. There's drugs education that needs to be looked at. There's sex education, anti-bullying policy, all those things that are affecting our society, affecting our youngsters. And I think we're losing the plot here. I think
hang on. I mean, I'm with you on every word you've said so far, but I'm trying to think, well, what's the problem that you'd have with a teacher spending maybe one afternoon reading one of these books with their little charges and spreading the message that actually, people's same-sex relationships are cool and that we should all get along and, life's good?
I think it's I don't have a problem in teaching children, educating them in issues that affect us, affect the society. But I think primary school kids, I think they're very young, and there's all sorts of questions that need to follow on from those issues, such as sexual relationships. And you're teaching 5-year-old kids about sexual relationships. And I think that you have to be very careful. And this is a premise that parents need to take responsibility on.
Well, I think you're right, Shamsun. I mean, I think that is the point, that parents have to be involved. It's a very, very sensitive issue. And I do have a problem with the idea that it would be taught to 5-year-olds. I freely confess that.
But we also have to remember,
and I think we have to
the kids that aren't going to be taught it by their parents at all. And they're the ones, I guess, you know, if we always look at the lowest common denominator, helping those that are least likely to get best information from their parents.
But isn't it the parenting we should be addressing there rather than the relationship?
Ain't that the truth? Thank you very much for all your calls on that one. Great discussion. Cheers to Samson.